Hey yo, what the fuck is up? How's it going? What's up, Mind? How's it going? Mind G, that's a pretty good name. Yo, I just switched my camera settings, so I hope my audio isn't fucked up. Let me know in the chat if my audio is fucked up. Big news today, I shaved off my fucking mustache. I shaved off the mustache. After 2 years, I am finally fucking mustache free. Hey, let's go. Let's go. Shout out to Mike for the 18 months, bro. Longest subscriber streak. You could only hope to come for Mike. Thank you, bro. How's it going? Loud and crystal clear. Excellent. Fucking chroma key. Hope everybody's doing good. We're doing drunk stories. We're telling drunk stories. The judge is drunk as fuck. I'm not as drunk as I could be, but I will get drunker as the night goes on. I got my fucking hydro flask full of blended margarita, and I'm as happy as a little clam. So let's tell some drunk stories. Let's get drunk while we watch, and let's just have a good time. I'm ready. I'm ready, and I hope you're ready. It's a good day. It's a great day. This is the first day I have not had a mustache in fucking years, and that is worth celebrating. It really is. Just trying to find the right. Oh my God, I broke it. Hold on. Let me check this out. That's almost it right there. Ooh, we just got a call. Yo, we just got a call. How's it going? Let's answer the phone.
In Dubai.
Oh shit. I'm sorry I picked up right as you were screening. How's it going?
It's all good, man. How you been?
I'm great, dude.
It's Robert.
Great. How you been?
So I do have a good story to share with this. I've been good. Very good, actually. Things are going well. All right, so this will be quite short, but funny as hell, hopefully. I was out in Kuwait back in 2017 and 2018 for deployment, and I had to rotate through Iraq, and then they gave us a 4-day Liberty Pass. So that 4-day Liberty Pass, they let you fuck off to any country within the closest 300-mile radius of the Middle East. And
that sounds cool. I didn't even know
you
that was
basically, it's kind of new or kind of old. I'm not sure, but
okay.
They basically, abide by the rules, abide by local cultures and customs, and then sign a fuck ton of paperwork, and then hope your leave doesn't get canceled.
Right.
Fortunately, mine was before COVID, so I didn't have to do all that bullshit. Yes, sir?
No, I just said that sounds cool. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. So, 4 days in Dubai. That's where we picked, or UAE, the country. And I, at this point, had turned 21 while I was overseas. So I didn't have any bar phase or anything like that. So I'm about to raw dog the shit out of some alcohol, and with no tolerance. So this doesn't line up really well for a good ending. But, you don't want to fuck up in UAE, especially when you're on orders.
Can't really drink there, right?
You're a citizen of a different country.
Am I wrong? You can't really drink there, right?
No, well, UAE is a special exception. You can't have alcohol there. You can. Okay. They have nightclubs. They have all types of norms, stuff like that. And so I went, our first day there, I drank on the flight there, so I was drunk when I arrived. And I blacked out between the 2 days in the center, and I remember going back to the base on the last day. So I remember going to and leaving. But there are some periods where I do remember in between. We went to a nightclub out there, and it was like underneath of a hotel, and dancing, all that was going on, and a bunch of the buddies that I was with, they were, out on the dance floor and stuff like that. And there was a few women there that were, I assumed like foreign expats and stuff like that, working. So I had someone that approached me, and they were super attractive, and I was like, God damn, I'm hitting it off with this woman. I thought, I already pictured our entire lives together halfway through the conversation, and then it got around to like what we do for work, and I was like, just basically threw all caution to the wind and said, oh yeah, I'm in the military, I do da da da, but saving secrets, I asked her what she did finally, and she's like, I work. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, I work, and then nodded her head at the same time. And I was like, and by the way, she had the thickest Russian accent, and it was so great. Oh, she could melt me through my bones. But yeah, once she said I work the second time, it clicked. I was talking to an escort.
Of course.
And then I said, okay, that's fine, cool. You know,
What a scary
dumb me
place to be a
then. I was
prostitute.
wanted to abide by the rules. Huh?
I said, what a scary place to be a prostitute. It's a
Oh,
scary
I
place
can't
to be a
imagine,
woman,
man.
let alone a
But I guess
prostitute.
it's legal there.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
I guess, I don't know. Yeah, Dubai's a lawless land. Just don't fuck with the state and you're good. And don't do dumb shit in public. That's pretty much what I remember from the brief. But anyway, towards the end of that night, I remember drinking so much that they told me that I fell down 3 flights of stairs and then got up and kept walking with them back to the Uber. And that's it. And then
3
I don't
flights
remember anything else for the rest of the trip.
Well,
Yeah, I
gotta
fell
tell
down.
you that
Like
that
I got
seems-
up. I got up and then fell again. Got up, fell again. They were dying laughing. I had no recollection of this. I still don't remember it to this day.
I gotta tell you, that's almost 100%. I'm sure it's not from drinking. It's you had like a TBI. Like you don't fall down 3 flights of stairs and come up like daisies. You know what I mean? Like you for sure just
yeah. I'm
just rattled the old
But,
bean around.
hey
you know
man,
what
it's
I
a
mean?
memory I got to throw in the bank, and I'm glad for the experience.
But what happened?
I'd
Did
probably
you end
try
up
it
going
again.
anywhere with this hooker, or you just met?
No, I should have. I mean, in hindsight, I'm sure it would have been a great time. I probably would have been a few grand lighter, considering how she was. But you know, shame on me for thinking I could.
So
No,
do
I'm
you
just
remember
joking.
what happened though? Like she told you the price and it was too much?
No,
or
I
you
remember. I remember that she said that she works, and I remember saying, "Oh," audibly, very loudly, and she was like, "Yeah, I work," and I was like, "Damn, oh, I can't. I'm sorry, like and I just turned into a giant idiot, babbling because I'm awkward as hell, but." Yeah, basically that's how it was. We parted ways, and I danced like an idiot, and then apparently fell downstairs and got to
That could have
miss
been a way
camel
better
riding
story,
the
bro.
next day.
I like the story. It's a great story, but for you, I'm saying you still could have done it. You could have let yourself go.
Oh,
You were
if-
already wasted.
Yeah,
Like if any time you were gonna pay for
too
sex,
bad I was
this
a goody
it?
two shoes then. Oh, we made up for that after the fact, but anyway.
Well, thank you, bro.
Cheers,
Thanks for
man.
sharing. And I'm glad you didn't die. A lot of people fall down, 30 or so steps. That's a wrap. So you got pretty.
I'm sure they were carpeted. I can't remember though.
I hope
If
so.
they weren't, I probably won't be here today. But
Well, I'm glad
anyway,
you made
man.
it out,
Hey,
bro. I'm
have
glad
a
you made
safe
it back.
night. Yeah, I am too. It was a great time. Were the periods that mattered, and you have a safe night. Enjoy your weekend, and happy Memorial Day, man.
Thanks. You too, man. I appreciate it. Have a
And
good
thank
one.
you for doing what you do. Again,
Oh,
you bring
appreciate it,
smiles
dude.
to people.
There's gonna be an extra
Including
long
me.
comp on Facebook this weekend. So take a look at it. It's almost done right now. It should be up tomorrow.
Every single noun, syllable, and word in that sentence gave me a hard on.
Thanks a lot, dude. Have a good one.
Cheers.
Well, that was pretty good. 3 flights of stairs would kill a normal man, but not him. So, if you have a story, let's hear it. Let's top that. I've done some pretty crazy shit when I was drunk, and I told a lot of them the last time that we did drinking. So I'm gonna spill some beans on my wife real quick. Like, my wife, whenever we go out and drink, she turns into absolute noodles. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen somebody knocked out in the UFC where they're like ready to fight, and then the next thing you see is they're like, that's when they're noodles, bro. That's it. It's your body turns into noodles. There's no other way to explain it besides that. You're just noodles. Whenever we drink, bro, my wife is noodles. Like every time we've drank and taken an Uber somewhere, I have to carry her to the next place. Like there is no in between. There's no point where she's like, oh, I'm kind of buzzed. Like we will start drinking and the next thing that happens is she is shithouse. Like that's it. And my wife is half Asian. She's half Vietnamese and half white, but you would never know that she was white. Like she looks very Asian. And her favorite thing to do when she's drunk is she goes, She goes, white nipple or Asian nipple? And the answer will always surprise you. But she will just whip her tits out when she's drunk anytime if she thinks you'll be surprised. Also, she will just pee anywhere. It doesn't matter. And I know that that's a lot of people. Like, I'm like that when I'm drunk too. But like when you're a girl, you're wearing like a full bodysuit. There's like all kinds of weird things that have to happen for you to be able to take a piss comfortably. And she'll just throw down anywhere. And I respect that. That's not bad. Like, you shouldn't hold your pee. It's not good for you. So I get it. I get it. So okay, there's a drunk story for me. This is a quick one. I love to drink before I go out, because I don't like to spend a lot of money on alcohol. Like alcohol, I love to drink, but I don't like to buy hella alcohol because it's expensive and I'd rather just buy weed. You know what I mean? Like, what are we talking about here? So I will drink a fuckload at home and then go out drunk. Like, I want to be so drunk when I get there, they might not serve me at all. That's the goal. And it should be your goal too when you go out. Think about that. So we went to go see Avengers Endgame at like a luxury theater around here. And they serve like, I thought it was just beer. And I was like, oh, we'll have a couple beers. I'm already drunk. It'll be cool. They had a full bar. That was a bad thing for me to find out. So like, I'm ordering drinks. The guy who's with me, he drove. He is not drinking. I'm ordering a drink for him and me. They only bring you one drink at a time. So I'm drinking his drink and mine 1 time, 2 times. I'm hitting the little button on the armchair. The guy's coming to bring another drink 3 times, 4 times. I've had 8 cocktails. The movie has not started yet. Right as the lights come down, I hit the button again. I'm like, oh, I better get a drink for the show. The waiter comes, he looks very hesitant already, and he's like, hello, what can I do for you? And I said, oh, bro, I just thought that maybe we could get another couple. And he said, we cannot give you any more drinks. I was told last time, after I gave you those last drinks, that you were not supposed to have any more. So I really can't give you any more. And before he even got it, I was like, I get it. I was being so rowdy, like pre-movie, I was being so rowdy that like I absolutely got it. No, the judge, first of all, he sounded regretful. That's why I said he should have paid for sex. First of all, that lady probably wanted his money. She wanted to have a good night with him too. Like, it was mutual. They were both trying to have the same encounter. He should have just let it rip. You know what I mean? Thought this was, yeah, absolutely. Cut me off. First of all, I'm sitting down. It's a movie. If I'm not causing enough of a disruption that everybody has to leave, you should give me another drink. Like, what are we doing here? This blended margarita is too thick for this hydro flask. God damn it, it's good though. I'm not gonna lie. Go ahead and drop a call. Let's keep it going. We got a good first call. Let's keep it rocking. 540-583-4464. We're telling drunk stories, but tell me something crazy. One time I jumped up on like the part that comes off the side of like a power pole. Like, you know how sometimes there's like a pole in the lines, and then there's also like, there's like extra shit on it. So there was like a metal bar coming out the side. I jump up. I'm like blackout drunk almost. Like, I remember the story, but nothing after that. And I'm trying to do pull-ups, and I'm like 18. I do like 2, 3 pull-ups, which is normal. That's as many as I can ever do. And I'm about to get 4, and I'm like, oh, I can never hit 4. And I'm about to hit the pull-up, and I fucking just let go. At like the very height of it, I dropped straight down on my ankle right away, sideways. As I look up from falling, as I'm looking up, a cop is U-turning right where I'm at. I try to stand up, cannot stand up. Foot is done. The cop didn't turn around though. Like, he saw us hella drunk and he saw me eat shit, and he just went about his day. He had shit to do, and I respect that. Like, thank you. And then we hobbled over to Adalberto's, and we pretended to be in a car through the drive-thru, and they saw us, but we'd go through the drive-thru walking, like 4 of us, but we'd stand like we were sitting in a car. And they served us many times. I don't know if they would just serve anybody at that drive-thru or if they respected our effort, but I appreciated it. Dilute the marg with straight tequila. Let's go. I will do it. I got drunk at a matinee showing of The Lion King at the Alamo when it came out a few years ago around children. That's so funny. Yo, to get hammered drunk like that at a kid's movie, I mean, like Avengers movie, like that's essentially a kid's movie. Like it's not like Lion King though. You nailed it. I thought I was gonna catch like a steady buzz before this show started. I was fucking hammer drunk when I started this show. We are 20 minutes into this show. I am wasted. So I'm ready to take some calls though. Please call and tell me about a time when you were drunk. 540-583-4464. That's 540-JUDGING. Shout out to everybody on Twitch and Kick. Yeah, we got extra viewers on Twitch and Kick today. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys. Drunk meatball is cool. Yo, no one has even said a single fucking word about me shaving my mustache, and that's fine. That's fine. But I thought it was gonna be a big deal. Like, I get it. Maybe nobody cares. I shouldn't care. But it's a big switch up for me now. I guess I will, I think I'm going to open up some Reddit drunk stories if you guys aren't going to tell drunky stories, right? I was literally typing something about how your fresh baby is. That's right. As smooth as it gets. Yo, I shaved with like the dullest. I shaved my face with a dull razor. I was so scared, but I was fine. I got a closer shave than normal. That's what the point was. I was going to say. I actually got a way closer shave than normal with a dull ass razor. There's no way you're not white. That's funny. Bro, that's funny. So you're saying the mustache is what gave me ethnicity? That's remarkable. It's honestly just shocking. It makes me sad. Like, I'll grow the mustache back out if you think it makes me look white. Like, if I'm white like this, I will grow it out today. Like, I'm going to go draw it on with a squiggly. Don't say I'm white, bro. You don't mean that. Hello?
Hey, how's it going? Hello, how are you?
It's going great. I'm fantastic. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. Also drinking. So I have a few snippets of stories. And one time as I was drinking with one of my ex-boyfriends and his friends, we were at like his best friend's house at the time, and his best friend's dad was an avid hunter. And, you know, we live in West Virginia, so he had a lot of taxidermied animals in his house. And I was absolutely plastered. Like, I could barely walk straight. And I wandered my way into the living room, and I was sitting on the hearth of the fireplace next to a stuffed bobcat crying, petting this dead stuffed bobcat and just bawling my eyeballs out. And I'm like, I'm so sorry that this happened to you.
You were just sad that it was dead? Or were you sad that it was dead and stuffed? Like, all of it? All of it?
All of it. I mean, because this dude has, like, deer and raccoons and this bobcat, and, like, if you can find it in the woods, he probably has one. And they came into the living room, and my boyfriend's like, Destiny, what the hell are you doing? And I was like, it's just so sad. It's so pretty. And now it's dead. And they're like, well, you wouldn't have been able to pet it if it wasn't dead.
Also, if it was alive, it would have happily killed every other animal in that bunch. Like, if that dude didn't kill and stuff those fuckers, the bobcat would have, like 100%. Which is fine. That's how it's supposed to be. But you're right. Like, that exact feeling, my mom put that in me at, like, a young age. Like, I remember being, like, 5 at the zoo, and I was like, oh, these are cool. My mom's like, the animals are cool, huh? And I was like, yeah. And she goes, but also they're supposed to be out in the wild, so it's pretty sad, right? And I was like, what? You know what I mean? Like, she fucked it up for me exactly like that right away. So as soon as you said that, I was like, oh, I hear it. You know what? You were right. I mean, it's sad that the bobcat was dead. It could be out killing coyotes and all kinds of shit. You know what I mean? It could be doing whatever it wanted.
It could just be out being a bobcat, like. But with that same ex-boyfriend, I have a few other stories, and they're not full stories because I was so drunk that I don't remember a lot of it. But, like, there was somebody that I would always hang around with when we drank, and we kind of, like, helped stand each other up like a fucking fence post. Like, can you stand? I can kind of stand. We'll make this happen together. And one day, we went out of the house, and we were, like, going up a hill to their garage, and like barely making it up there, and we saw like a rustling, like heard a rustling in the woods. We're like, what the fuck is that? And apparently one of the other friends was taking a shit in the woods. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry that I accidentally experienced that. And then I proceeded to roll, like tumble ass over tea kettle down this hill from laughing so hard. And I'm like, I don't know how I didn't break something.
Because you were drunk. It's like when a drunk driver survives the crash. You were just too drunk to get hurt.
And within like a month or so of that, there was another instance. He had invited someone over to the house that I had never met before in my life. And
Girlfriends don't
they
usually
parked
like that.
right in front of the and they parked right in front of the basement, like glass door. And I just opened the door and just fell onto the hood of this dude's car. Like hands up at the windshield wipers and everything. I was like, hey, it's nice to meet you. And they're just looking at me like, who the fuck is this crazy bitch on my car?
I have met people like for the first time when I was shithouse drunk, like a few times. And then the next time I meet them, they act like I'm an insane person. Like they're like, hey man, how's it going? And I'm like, I barely remember who you are. Like I remember your face. I think I know your name, but like I don't remember most of what happened. Like they act like they saw me murder someone.
Same. This person whose hood that I fell onto, like we didn't go on to become friends really, because they didn't hang around with us all that much. But each time that they would see me, they'd be like, oh hey, Destiny, like what? Like at arm's length, kind of like, how are you? And
They're
what
like,
the
hey,
fuck are you
how
about
fucked up
to
are
do?
you today?
No, I'm also the kind of person, and you had talked about your wife peeing outside, and I'm like, I'm guilty of that too. We'll just be at a party somewhere, and they're like, hey, I haven't seen Destiny in a while. Nope, she's just out pissing outside. She stole some napkins.
It's funny
and it's
because
just the most confusing thing to people.
It causes a whole nother slate of issues. Like when you will disappear to pee anywhere, then you also get into shenanigans when you're off to pee. Like it's a whole nother set of problems.
Yeah. No, and one last one. Same ex-boyfriend. I was drunk as a fucking skunk. Like I could barely get my feet under me. And we were sleeping in his dad's basement, and that's where everyone else had been, and then they left for the night. And he and I were asleep on the couch in the basement. And you know when you have a dream that you're peeing, and then you wake up and you might accidentally be peeing?
100%.
I pissed all on this dude's couch. I woke up like midway, and I was like, oh my God. And I had to like fall off of the couch and like crawl my way.
It's nice that you even cared. Once I was peeing, I would have just let it rip. Like too late. Horses out of the barn.
They're not the craziest of drunk stories, but there's surely some fucking shenanigans.
I mean, definitely some. I would agree with that. I mean, you sound like a good time. Aside from the time you were crying about the dead bobcat, like it sounds like fun. It sounds like you're mostly a happy drunk, unless you're around dead animals, which is reasonable. It's reasonable to be sad when you're around dead animals, even if you're sober. So I'm not gonna fault you for that.
I'm like, and sometimes like I can be the happiest, goofiest drunk that you've ever met, but I've also been known to like take my flip-flop off my foot and slap someone with it. So it just depends on the person, I guess.
I mean, that's how you
and
should be.
Everybody.
That all sounds right.
Like
to me.
everybody in the room looked like the Scream, like the painting, like they just couldn't believe that I had done that. And I was like, don't fuck with me. Like I'm the happy.
You gotta let them know. You gotta check people sometimes. But real life is a lot like jail, where like sometimes you just gotta let them know you're not to be fucked with. When you meet a new group of people, they don't know sometimes, especially when you're drunk. You just let them know. I'll allow it.
Because I'm only like 5'3", 5'4", and they did not see that coming from me.
Short girls are the most dangerous. I'll die on that hill. Like that's 100% true.
Big rage comes in small packages.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've always heard it anyway. Anywho, thank you for listening. I like the new look.
Thank you. I hope it's better. My wife likes it more, at least. My kids got mad at me.
To each their own, as long as you're happy with it.
I just got to get back used to it. I know it does look better. I know people are going to treat me better. People act like I'm a weirdo when I have that mustache, so I know it's going to be better just while I'm out and about town. Thanks for calling, Destiny. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Yeah. We are out here. Let them know. You should let them know. For real. I thought he said let me know. He said let them know. That makes more sense. Got it. I don't think that. Well, let's keep it going. I'm ready to hear something drastic happen. Like, first of all, have you ever been drinking and then something serious happened? Like you're drunk and having a good time and then like, well, a fight breaking out, that doesn't even really ruin the vibe. Like when you're drunk, oh my God, not only did I just drop that blunt, but I thought it went down my sleeve. Trying to keep up with multiple people on different chats. Not really competent enough to be doing that, so it's a lot. I have like, we are getting a call. Drunk calls are rolling. That's I knew you guys were all gonna have drunk stories. I just could feel it. Oh, I picked up mine while you were screening. I'm sorry.
You let me in again before I can screen.
Sorry, I know it's every time. It's every time. I can't wait. I get too excited.
I know, man. I'm sorry. Hey, it's mine again. I have a question about it. I have a serious one about the topic you brought up. Serious. Did some serious shit go down?
Is it still? Let's keep it light. Serious is good, but I don't want to get sad.
It's not bad serious.
Okay,
it's not bad like sad serious.
Okay.
It's like, whoa, shit, serious shit just happened.
Yeah, that's good.
Real quick, I'll dive into it. I'll keep about 5 minutes. Backstory: was going to the beach for the first time. Not first time. It was the first time me and my buddies went to a condo. You know, you got to have someone that's 25 to rent one. This is Panama City, first time for me being there. And we are having a great time. It's our second night there, a 5-day excursion. And we go out to one of the tiki bars. We meet it's like 4 of us, and we start jiving well with this couple that we met. You know, they're the same age as us. And we think, all right, cool, these guys are chill. I'm the only one that doesn't partake then in any of the proclivities that they like. Per se, weed, fucking anything like, I don't know if you could see that, but cocaine.
Oh.
And so I didn't do anything of that. So I always stepped away, tried to stay a little bit more sober, especially around strangers. And, they come up to our condo. We're all having a good time. We're making plans to go down to the beach and fucking chill the rest of the day. And before you know it, this couple, they're about late 20s at this time. And the lady that was with the man was very skinny. She had, at this point, unbeknownst to me, 2 32-ounce margaritas. So she's on her way to places we've been, but not like to talk about. And, well, unbeknownst to us, we don't know if she's done anything prior to that. She just goes limp out of nowhere after she's hit my buddy's happy pen. And, oh, man, As soon as she went limp, we were like, "Oh shit, is she breathing?" All right, so her husband started freaking out. We were like, "Oh fuck, we have a situation here." We didn't know if it was anything involving with like fentanyl or anything like that. So we didn't know if these were drug users and they just fucking mixed too much shit and then shit goes downhill. So we dump her into the bathtub and see what happens. As you turn on the water, I already know this is a serious situation, so I immediately call 911 because I'm the most sober. And I get them here. The condo security shows up. They show up. They get her Narcan and then loaded in the ambulance. And then I had to spend the next 3 hours myself because the two people that rented the condo for us, they were out at a bar, restaurant, enjoying their night, enjoying their vacation, which is where I should have been. But no. So I had to spend 3 hours convincing this hotel staff security to not kick us out last second. And I don't know, maybe silver tongue or I just talk a fucking ton. But I was able to get that to curve. Didn't happen. Last I checked, that she survived. There's no known issue. There was no data or information they could provide us saying what it was. But don't mix liquor with anything fucky.
It's
all
crazy.
I gotta say.
It's crazy that like you could
That
be on wacky new drugs like all the time, and then just like a little bit of something else can just fuck you
can
up.
just be yes.
Like that's it.
You can be having a good time. I was having a good time hanging out with my buddies and meeting these new people. You know, it was cool. Like they were chill, and just out of nowhere, it happened so fast. She went limp, and that shit can happen to anybody.
That's crazy.
Keep your head on swivel.
I mean, it's great that you had the wherewithal to. You basically saved her life, right? Like a bunch of fucked up people are just gonna do a bunch of fucked up things to try to save somebody that's fucked up. You know what I mean?
I'd never take credit for it, but that was on the EMTs and maybe her husband having a short.
Why were they there? Because you called them, right?
Bad decisions lead to bad decisions, right?
I mean, everybody at the bottom crosses paths eventually, and that doesn't really apply to this scenario, but it was the first thing that came right to my lips when I went to say it.
Right. No, but that makes sense. That does make sense.
Well, I mean, it's great that you didn't get kicked out because it wasn't really your fault. Like you met some people who were more fucked up than you, and they got fucked up to a point where it was a problem. That's not your fault. You know what I mean? So, and it's good that you saved her. You did your part. Plus, you were obviously trying to save the condo as well. You were looking out for everyone's interest.
Yeah. And I'm very fortunate, and like I really didn't want to disappoint my buddy that was able to actually get us to the condo back then. But the fucking craziest shit is that company, that security company, that contractor, that condo contracted out for the security. The CEO is one of the dudes that showed up with his wife. They both own the company. He offered me a job. I was like, no, I can't do this. No.
You were like, bro, I'm prepared, Rick. You should think about who you're hiring. I'm as drunk as I could be right now. Don't offer me a job.
I wasn't that drunk.
Oh, no, you were fucked up. You were sober. I forgot. I try to relax now and just hang out with other people and not be always on a edge. So I can relax and actually be drunk when security shows up for once, but we'll get to that eventually. Word, that's fucking
anyway,
crazy.
man. Sorry, I didn't mean to call up the line again.
No, thank you, man. That was a crazy one.
Cool. Cheers.
That was actually super crazy. Like I've been around a ton of people who are on drugs. A lot. But maybe more than 100. Lifetime for sure. More than 100. But like, I've never seen someone almost ODing like that. I've seen people so drunk they could die. Sure. And I've been so drunk I could die, of course. But like, to be seeing someone that's like about to die that sounds so scary. That sounds so fucking scary. I mean, it's good. She was lucky he was there. Like he's not taking credit, but she was lucky he was there. Call in. Let's tell a funny one now, since somebody almost just died. 540-583-4464. We're telling drunk stories. We're telling drunk stories, and I'm drunk. It's a whole part of it. I got way drunker way faster than I was expecting. That's the thing. I mean, I only ate breakfast, so maybe that was part. I just ate a bunch of fried rice. I love fried rice. So, also, you couldn't eat a heartier meal, really, when you're drunk. Maybe oatmeal. But I think rice would still soak up alcohol better than. What am I fucking talking about? That's great. That's nothing. That's nothing. But yo, this is maybe the best Chinese food I've ever had. I'm not gonna shout them out because I'm gatekeeping. But you know what a relief it is when you get good Chinese food? Like it can be bad 9 times out of 10. Chinese food is mostly not good. Like it's good, but it's not as good as you want it to be. This time it was exactly as good as I wanted it to be. That's luck. One time, we used to save up all our travel money on the wrestling team in college. They'd give you like meal money. However many days you're out, they'd give you like a per diem. And a bunch of the dudes on the team would put their money together when we got back on Sunday, and we'd get fucked up. We'd give all the money to one of the older dudes on the team that could buy alcohol, and we'd all get fucking hammered drunk. So we come back, it's a Sunday, we're getting like super drunk at this dude's apartment. And like the night winds down, everybody's been drinking all night. We're playing beer pong with shots. Like everybody there is fucking really, really drunk. And I wake up and I'm like cleaning up myself up. I'm like getting ready to leave. And I was about to wake up my friend. I see my buddy, he's asleep on his sweatshirt like this. Then he sits up. Right as I was about to wake him up, he kind of gets up and I'm like, oh good, I'm glad you're awake. He throws up directly into the sweatshirt he was sleeping on. And then he just folded it over and went right back to sleep. Like literally all in one motion. Literally all in one motion. Just. He got up like 2 hours later and was like, that was pretty crazy, huh? Pretty wild. I mean, we've heard someone almost die. We've heard somebody take a tumble. How to run, man. Have a safe night. You got it. Oh, I forgot my buddy said he was going to. My friend said he was going to call. This show's hard to do when I'm drunk. Like, I've only done it drunk a couple times. I'm not going to lie. It's a lot to juggle while I'm drunk. It's hard to focus. It's hard to say useful things. It's hard to run the show systematic. Like it's just the infrastructure of the show is not easy to run when I'm drunk. It's not hard. It's not hard. It's just. But also to think about a drunk judge, that would be hilarious. Like if you went to court and the judge was drunk, you'd be excited, right? More than you'd be worried. You'd be like, this is probably going to be better for me, but it might be a lot worse. Free for a call, 540-583-446. My friend who called in with that story from the ER where he was an EMT and he was like doing chest compressions on that guy and it pumped up some kind of prosthetic thing he had in his dick. That's one of the craziest stories we've heard on this show. And he said he had a good drunk story. So it's exciting. When you get a good story out of somebody and then they say they have another story, it's like I get tingly. I actually, it's funny when you start drinking with a dude who really shouldn't be drinking. You ever have a friend who is absolutely a liability when they're drunk and like, you know, they're going to quit drinking at some point because they're going to need to, like they're your, like I have had a couple friends where I've been like, I've drank with a lot of people. Like I've drank with a ton of people. I'm pretty sure you shouldn't drink, bro. Like I'm not one to tell somebody what to do. I'm not sure you should be drinking. those friends that I have, somehow I have gotten drunk with those dudes a ton of times. And I hope they're not thinking the same thing about me. That would actually worry me. Now that I said it out loud, I got scared. Yeah, bro. Like, first of all, Mike, when you used to drink, you were a treat. I know that I only was around you a few times when you were drunk, so I probably didn't see the whole thing. But every time I saw you while we were both drunk, it was a delight. So I can't say that I but good for you, man. You did it. You're also great when you're sober. It's not any, if anything, it's better. So good for you. But until I reach a level that I'm a madman, I like that. Madmen are to be appreciated, bro. I'm here for it. Let's get some extra stories up, right? Reddit. Dear Reddit, what's your best drunk story? Got it. Is that big enough for you guys? There, that's probably better. No, I think that's maybe too big. Words of wisdom, don't mix liquor with anything. Yeah. I have spilled margarita on my mouse pad. And it's a semi-rigid mouse pad, so it's not like soaking it up, but I just don't know if it's ever going to not be sticky. Oh, I have Lysol wipe. There are Lysol wipes in this courtroom. Sitting here like I was having a dilemma and I could fix it myself. Take it into your own hands, even if you're drunk. Fix your own problems. I'm doing it right now. I will take this robe off and get to the bottom of this shit. I don't work for the law. The law works for me. I've been smelling something in this courtroom for a long time. I love reading stories on Reddit, but it needs to be like less than 3 sentences long. Literally, no matter how good the story is, tell me what happened, elaborate on how it happened, and then tell me what the end was. Literally, that's it. If it's any longer than this, if your story looks like this, if I don't care, nobody fucking cares. Nobody has more free time than me. Nobody's more interested in a bullshit story than I am. If you write a story like that, I know it wasn't that funny. If you're explaining it like that, you can't tell me what was funny about it without a long, you know what I'm saying? Good stories are short. Good stories are short stories. So my first, look at how long that shit is. It's okay. This is 5 paragraphs. That's a short essay. Yeah. Too long didn't read as well. That's true. Maybe I'll go back. I'll put drunk stories. TLDR. Had an evaluation at work 10 years ago. I was really worried about it, so I didn't drink for about a week before so I could be on top form. Does drinking fuck you up that bad where you're like, I better not drink for a little bit? Maybe. I mean, maybe. Some people, I get it. Aced it. Came out with flying colors. The box took me out for a few after dinner. I don't work. I'm not a real person, so I don't know. Maybe people drink with their people at work. I am so crazy. Like, I'm not like a wild card, but I like to get rowdy when I'm drunk, and I would never Well, like I would have a couple drinks with people I worked with, but I would never get drunk around people I worked with. I get drunk around my friends and their friends, and most of all, like mostly their friends don't even like it. Like, that's what I'm saying. You cannot get drunk around the people you work with. You have to see them on Monday. That's like turning into a fucking werewolf. And then the werewolf comes back when he's back to a dude and he's like, hey, remember? That was pretty crazy, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to hang out with that guy afterwards. You saw him eat the neighbor. You don't want to hang out with him on Monday. Like, it doesn't work like that. I won't even get drunk at the Christmas party. I will go to my friend's Christmas party. Like, if my friend has a +1, I'll get drunk at their Christmas party. I don't get drunk around people I work with. That's when they say you don't shit where you eat, that's way worse. Getting blackout drunk is way more irresponsible around people you work with, is way more irresponsible than having sex with someone you work with. The repercussions can be much worse. They're both bad. But still, you know what I'm saying? Like, what up, Larry? Oh shit, we got Larry in here. What's up, man? How's it going? We needed you on prison days. I know I hit you up on the bad time, but we did jail stories and you weren't here. I should have come to the end. Nicely pissed. I love when people say they're on the piss or pissed when they say they're drunk. I really like that. Wake up the next day, in a shithole town in Malaysia with no recollection of how I got there. My mate was nowhere to be seen. I had no money and no passport. This was 11 a.m. I only just kept my job, still at the same company, but had real trouble getting back to Singapore. Oh, so he's from Singapore and he ended up. Oh no. He was going to Singapore. He's British. Okay. That's fucking crazy, bro. That sounds scary. Losing your passport or ending up in a different country without a passport, that's a nightmare. You live there now and they don't want you there. So it's like, you're fucked either way. Where's the stash? What did I miss? I just shaved it off, bro. Just shaved it off. I hope I still look credible as a judge. Like, I probably shouldn't have been like wasted drunk the first day I don't have a mustache. The mustache gave me a lot of credibility, but here we are, you know? Too long didn't read. There it is. 20th early morning jogger saw an incident. Decent zombie with a couple on its head. That's not a story. Guess what? If you could summarize, if the summary's not funny, you should have known that you didn't need to put the whole story. Self-awareness about stories. And I'm not even telling that about callers. Like, I mean, it is important, but like, why would you write a Reddit story if it wasn't good? Now I'm here reading this. 16. Yo. Okay, I just thought of a crazy drunk story that I did. Okay. This is literally maybe the first or second time I was actually really, really drunk. This was like the last party I ever had where everyone wasn't drinking. I was maybe like turning 15 or 16. I was turning 16. And I lived out in the country, like not far from where I went to high school, but like not close to where most of the kids from my high school lived, if that makes sense. So we all come over. My parents let me have the party. We're not drinking, so it's no big deal. People are coming through. Some people are drinking on their own. And it's all good. That's how kids do it, right? But one of my friends shows up and he goes, hey, bro, happy birthday. I brought you this. And as exactly a 16-year-old would do it, he gave me a Crystal Geyser water bottle filled with vodka. Because that's what kids drink. And I had never really even drank before. Like, I drank some shots, and I'd been like a little buzzed before. Oh, shit, my mic was all fucked up. I just fixed it. Has it been fucked up for a long time? Okay. I'm sorry. I fixed it now. My friend gave me a bottle of water full of vodka. That's basically all I've been saying so far. It was a birthday party. No one else was really drinking, like a couple people. I am now wasted drunk. Like I drank almost the full bottle by myself. Like I was like 260 pounds at 16. So pretty big, but like I was still hella drunk, instantly very rowdy. We're all standing in a circle talking. Everybody's standing in a circle. We're like inside the barn behind my house. I didn't like live on a farm, but there was a barn and some horse pastures, I guess. But they weren't mine. Like my landlord owned them and rented them to someone else, but they were on our property. So I'm standing there and I walk up by my friend. He's probably like 5'2", like a very short dude, a very short, small dude. And I start kind of I don't know why I'm doing this with the microphone, but I am choking him. I'm like straight up choking him, like I lived in Wilton, bro. So kind of off Bradshaw, but further out even. And I'm choking my friend, and I kind of lose, like, I don't lose track of how long it's been, but like I think it's just all fun and games. I'm just like for a second giving him a little squeeze, and then I kind of hear him go like I hear a sound, I hear a choking sound. And so right away I'm like, oh, my bad, bro. And I let go like that. As soon as I let him go, he hit his head on the table right next to us. Wham. He hit his head on the ground, concrete. Boom. It's like a nightmare sequence from a TV show. Like everything's going bad all at once. And even though I'm really drunk, I also get very, very scared because it's scary. Because the next thing that happened was he was still, and then he started kind of not full seizing, like not a full seizure, but involuntary movements. Like he was twitching, like in the middle of like a seizure and a twitch. And I was so fucking scared. Also, I felt horrible. It's my friend. I didn't mean to kill, like fucking almost kill this dude. Like I was just goofing off. I'm just an inconsiderate person. It wasn't malicious. So like in the split second, and I know now this was not the right thing to do, but as he's twitching on the ground, I tried to just clap him, whap, like right where his head meets his neck. I was like, maybe that, and he stopped twitching right away, which was the desired effect. Like that's what I wanted to happen. And then he opened his eyes and he was like, yo, why is my face dirty? He was like, I feel like there's a bunch of dirt on my face. And I was like, yo, you're on the ground. You're on the ground. I'm sorry. I choked you out and it was pretty bad. I'm sorry. And remember, I'm sorry. He wasn't ever mad and he was mostly happy he woke up, I think. And so was I, like 100% so was I. And I don't know if he had like a real hard blink before. Like, I don't know if you ever met somebody, but they have like, they're talking and then they kind of just like, they have one blink in their regular blinks that is off. Like they have a hard blink. It's like a hard Filipino blink. Like he just had a hard blink. I don't know if it was after that. I don't remember if he had it before or not, because I only noticed it after when I was talking to him. I was like, were you blinking like that the whole time I knew you? Or did I fuck you up? I don't know. He has kids now. Maybe more than one. Oh, fuck. How many times am I going to spill this fucking margarita? What is my deal? There's a blended margarita spilled on my mouse pad right now. This is as scared as I've ever been. This is... Oh, luckily there's paper towels here too. I just keep shit around this desk. Please call in. I'm telling a very loose drunk story right now because no one's calling. 540-583-4464. Please call in and tell me your drunk story. Tell a drunk judge your drunk story, and I will judge the shit out of you. I will judge the absolute pants off the next person that calls this line. So let's hear it. I have a couple drunk stories with this guy I'm trying to get to call, so we can tag team it if he answers. What a delicious margarita. I'm just... My wife said she's gonna call. Oh, I just remembered a crazy one with her, actually. All right, we're gonna, oh. I think we're gonna catch a call from Great Auntie Meatball right now. I think we're gonna do it. I think we're gonna get an in-house call. The call's coming from inside the house. These glasses are so dirty, but. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, you sound hot. Okay, sorry. How's it?
Oh, shut up. You're so dumb. Drunk story. One time, you were there. You are there for most of my drunk stories. If not all of them. But one time, we were at the river, and I decided that I would get a Four Loko for fun.
You
Because
love
that
to
sounds
drink
like
Four
a fun time
Lokos.
to me for whatever reason. I fucking love that shit. It gets me so fucked up so quickly. And it really did. I drank that Four Loko, and I had a little bit. I think I had one mixed drink, and I was absolutely fucked up. And when I get hella fucked up, I can't walk. So we were like quite a ways down the river from our car. So we had to walk from the river to our car after day drinking all day. And I absolutely could not walk. And people were so concerned as we were passing by them.
Here's the thing, like when you are like when you're a dude, and I'm a sketchy looking dude, I'm the first to admit that. Like I wouldn't trust me either. But when you're a dude and you're like transporting a drunk girl, like a passed out woman, people don't assume that your intentions are good. When they see you with like a drunk bitch and you're just trying to, hey, we just got to get to the car. Like people think like, hey, that guy's up to no good. And I get it. But like it was, it's jammed me up many times personally.
So yeah, they were like, you were carrying me basically because I absolutely could not walk. And they were like, hey, they're trying to get me to talk to them. Like, hey, ma'am, hey, miss, do you know this guy? Do you know this guy? Is he with you? Like they basically thought that you were trying to kidnap me as a grown adult person. And I was like, yeah, we're married. It's fine. But yeah, it was multiple people. There were several people that stopped us and was like concerned for my well-being.
I would say it's actually impressive that we even live in a place where that happened more than once.
I was very happy with that.
Yeah, it's great. Like if I wasn't with you, I would have wanted that to happen.
Exactly. Like worst case scenario, I know that if I was being kidnapped, I'd be like, hey, who the fuck is this guy? No, I don't know this guy. They would have helped me out, I think. So overall, nice. Don't recommend drinking. Also, the river is a very dangerous place. I do not recommend drinking, getting super obliterated, and going there. Don't recommend that.
It's crazy because probably
you
like
can easily die at the river.
Probably like 8 of the 10 drunkest bitches I've ever seen in my life have been just noodles at the river, like getting off a boat. Like their friends are trying to get them on the bank off of like a canoe. And you're like, how are they on the water like that? Like you're bringing her in that drunk off the water. How about the time you got drunk right when we first started dating when I wasn't with you? How about that story?
So me and Meatball were dating when I was like 19. We started dating when I was like 19 years old. So I, at this point, was going to like college parties and what have you. We were talking. We weren't really dating at the time. We were just talking back and forth. I think we've gone on like a date or two already. But I went to a friend's birthday party in Stockton where a bunch of people that I went to high school with were also there. And basically I got really, really fucking drunk on Four Loko once again. There's never a good Four Loko story. It's never good. Don't learn my lesson apparently. But I got super drunk, and when I get drunk, I get pretty aggressive. So, this is my first time getting really drunk. So my first time getting really drunk, I was trying to fight multiple girls at this party who were doing nothing wrong. I was just trying to start shit. So my friend was like, hey, we need to get her out of here. She's starting shit with these people. Let's get her out. So my friend from high school, Devon, was trying to escort me basically to his car, and I was too drunk. I don't handle my liquor well. I don't drink anymore. And I was basically trying to kick out his windows of his car, which is very much not cool.
Crazy. Crazy.
And so then they're like, well, she's going to kick out the windows to my car. What do we do now? And they're like, I know, let's put her in the trunk. And then at that point, I call Morgan. I'm like, hey, I'm super drunk, and they're trying to put me in a trunk right now. And he was like, what the fuck is going on over there? He's like, no, just bring her to my house. Just bring her over to my house. And then my good friend, who I had known in high school, I was hanging out with a lot in college, was like, we're not taking her to fucking his house. They've been on like 2 dates. I don't know this guy. I'm not taking her over there, which was honestly a good friend, very good friend. Because
yes, except for they were also putting you in the trunk. I was only telling them to bring you here because I was worried you were in the trunk.
Well, also you were up to no good, so.
I wasn't.
For sure.
I wasn't being. It was like at least 80% a good intention. I was mostly worried something bad was happening 80%. To you. You were like, "Hey, they're putting me in a trunk."
Wasn't great, but you know what? I understand. Like, I wasn't safe. I was not being a good drunk, and I was trying to kick out that window. So there was really no other place to put me that was safe. Not only. Because if I broke the window with my foot, I would have fucked myself up also. I could have cut my legs with the glass, whatever. My safety was in danger. The guy's car was in danger. So it was all around a bad situation. This is why I don't drink. This is why Morgan's like, oh, come on, have some drinks. Let's get fucked up. I'm like, no, I cannot. I cannot get fucked up. I'm not a good drunk. I do not handle my alcohol well at all.
I would like to see you try to get a little drunk again. It's been years. How about the last time you drank? How about the last time you drank? The New Year's.
The last time I drank was not at New Year's. The last time I drank was when we were at Mona and Megan's house over in
you were so drunk. I had to carry you again.
I was pounding shots of Hennessy with Ant. I was trying to outdrink him, and I did. I won. And I was like basically doing shots back to back of Hennessy. And then I was like, yeah, I won. You're like, let's leave. And as soon as I get up to go leave, I'm like, oh shit. My legs start wobbling. I'm like, I'm way more fucked up than I thought I was.
You were so drunk. Carrying you out of there was like, you were also trying to stay. Like you weren't trying to go. So it was worse than normal.
Yeah, that's another thing. When I get hella drunk, like my ride, usually my ride was my cousin. And I would be like, no, I'm not ready to leave yet. I don't want to go yet. And he'd be like, fine, bye. 100% of the time. So yeah, he was not having any of it ever, which is fine. I'm not an easy drunk to deal with, honestly.
I will always do it. I'm happy to do it.
Also, after that party, you got me in the car. Mario was with us too. You got me in the car, and then I grabbed a plastic bag off the passenger floor of the car and was just vomiting all in the plastic bag, which honestly was not that bad. Yeah, I did well.
Oh no, I'm so thankful we even had the bag. Like, absolutely. I only brought up the New Year's one because I touched on a couple of the things that happened that night too. I was just saying you'll pee anywhere when you're drunk, even if your outfit isn't really like ideal for that.
Oh, I've been wearing a romper absolutely obliterated off Jaeger bombs before at a bar outside. I got outside and got like 100% naked and pissed outside.
We were downtown and she was in like a full body suit and she pulled it like 3/4 of the way down and was pissing in the parking lot like mostly nude.
Roseville. No, we were in Roseville.
Yeah.
We were in Roseville. That was the night we went out drinking with Danny and everyone.
That was also when you did Asian nipple or white nipple.
Hilarious. Classic.
I just said the answer will always surprise you.
That was also, let me go ahead and say that was also the first time I did coke.
It was to save you. You weren't trying to get fucked up.
I
If you hadn't done that little bit of coke, you would have died from drinking that night.
I drank so much. I was drinking. That was my Jaeger bomb era, and then I had to stop. I have not had any Jaeger bombs since that night. Like, I can't drink. I cannot. These are all bad stories. It's never a good time. You know what I mean? It's never good.
These are some of our best stories together. We had a great time.
No, I always feel like, here's the thing also, is if you're willing to get that fucked up all the time, you have to not give any shit. You have to not care. And I always feel so embarrassed afterwards. Because here's the thing about me is I'm very much introverted, and I'm a very quiet person. Like, I'm very opinionated. I'll talk shit when I need to talk shit. But mostly I don't like attention at all. And if I embarrass myself, like, I think about that shit all the time. So I'm not a good drunk. I don't have a good time. Afterwards, I don't like to hear about what I did when I was drunk. Like, a lot of the time I don't remember any of it. And I get hella embarrassed. So it's just, I don't have a good time. And I also feel like I'm not fun. Like, I'm a lot to handle. And I'm a lot of responsibility when I'm drunk. So I don't feel like anyone around me is having a good time. I don't have a good time thinking about it afterwards. Like, it's just all bad. It's just all bad.
But the flip side of that is the fact that you're even aware of that, like the fact that you even know that about yourself and then you don't drink, that makes you a responsible drunk. That means that you know you're too drunk to be drunk. Like, that's great. That's the wherewithal to know that is better than most people that come through this courtroom, is what I'm saying.
I guess, like, you know, I have like some alcoholism and drug issues that run in my family. So I'm always worried that I'm like, well, maybe if I start drinking or if I get drunk too often, you know what I mean? Like, I won't be able to stop, or maybe I like drinking. I've never liked drinking.
Yeah.
I just always have that in the back of my mind.
I mean, alcoholism runs on both sides of my family several generations back. And I love to get drunk, but I don't drink often. Like, I don't even get drunk once a month, probably.
Yeah.
That's
I would say maybe 1 or 2 weekends out of the month.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Lawyer Mike says the secret to drink, he says he's like that too, but the secret is to black out. Then you don't remember the scary things. He said, if you don't remember, it didn't happen.
No, I know, but then Morgan is there and he tells me everything. But then he's gotten to the point where he knows, we've been together for so long that he knows I don't like to recall the night. So he'll be like, hey, do you want to know what happened last night or not? I'm like, no. Most of the time I'm like, no. But then as the week goes by, because he's usually kind of drunk too, he doesn't get, like, if I'm going to get shit-faced, he does not get shit-faced. He'll drink a little bit, but he'll be able to stop and drive or whatever, and just not even drive. Usually when we're drinking, we'll get an Uber, but he has to be pretty coherent in order to help manage me, which is really responsible. But he'll be like, as the week goes by, he'll be like remembering things. He's like, are you sure you don't want to know? Like, are you sure? Like, I have a couple of funny things things that he thinks is funny. It's just like, he's just very aware that I don't like to know most of the time.
It's also funny because we do the opposite. Like, if I get really drunk and you're not drunk, and then the next morning I remember that you were mad, and then you start to tell me, I'm like, well, what did I do? What were you mad about? And then when you're telling me, I don't go, oh, that's so bad. I go, you're mad about that? I was just having fun. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're the exact opposite in that way, where you take too much responsibility for what happens when you're drunk, and I will take none of it. Like, I'm just like, I was just having a good time. I'm just having a good time. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm doing it right now. Well, thank you. Those are great drunk stories. The trunk one's crazy. I can't believe they were trying to put you in that trunk. I was mostly worried they were putting you in the trunk. I was only a little bit trying to get you to come over while you were drunk. Like, it was only a little bit. It was at most 75-25. Like, it was no more than 25% nefarious.
I think usually for you hold your liquor really well. It's really hard to tell when you cross the border of fucked up. I mostly can tell when you start sweating. That's usually your tell, or you get a lot louder. But most of the time, you really can't tell. And I think that your mom has mentioned this a few times, where she's like, well, that's how my brother was and all that. And I'm really worried and all this stuff. But she's just a mom, you know?
Yeah, she's just a worrier. She's no fun to drink around, I can tell you that. Though it never stopped my dad.
I mean, you have to. I mean, yeah, it's very true. In fact, it might have honestly made him drink more. But I mean, given the way that her brother died, it's understandable why she is so concerned. You know what I mean? It makes sense.
It made it so I heard about it. Anytime she either saw me drunk or heard about me being drunk, it was a story every time. It was a guilt trip every time.
I remember another time that I was doing. I remember. Okay, sorry. This might be taking too long. If someone else is calling, just cut me off. But another time, I went to like a middle school friend's party at her house here in Sacramento. I had recently linked back up with her and was like, I started following her on social media, and she reached out. This was, I think, before.
This was right before COVID. It was. This is like January or February 2020, like right before COVID.
Yeah. So she invites me over. She said, "Hey, I'm having a get together at my house for our mutual friend's birthday." It was like her 20-something birthday. I don't remember. She's like, "You want to come through?" And I said, "Absolutely. I'd like to see everyone again." So I go to this party and I drive myself. And Morgan's like, "Are you sure you want to drive yourself? Are you sure? Like, are you not going to drink a lot?" I'm like, "I'm going to have like a couple beers and that's it. And I'm going to stay for a while, so I'll make sure I don't drive right afterwards. I'll be cool." So then I see a bunch of people from high school I haven't seen in years. I drink too much. I do a bunch of Jaeger. Again, terrible, really horrible. And then I get too drunk. And I'm like, I call Morgan. I was like, "Hey, I'm hella fucked up. I cannot drive, and I don't want to stay the night here." So I know these friends, but there was a bunch of people also there that I did not know. So I was really uncomfortable staying the night because I didn't have anyone. I didn't feel that 100% someone there would have my back, if that makes any sense. Like basically Morgan is the only person that I have that I know 100% has my back, and he wasn't there, so I didn't feel safe. So I was like, "Hey, I cannot drive. You can't drive because I had the car, and you have both babies, so you can't come get me. Like, what are we gonna do?" And he was like, "Oh, you know what? Just call my dad, and my dad will come get you. No problem." So his fucking dad comes to get me, and Morgan's dad, especially if you were drunk and calling him to come pick you up, like he was super, super nice about it.
He loves it. He loves it.
He was being so nice. He was like, "You know what? I'm really glad you called instead of driving or just staying when you weren't comfortable. It's really great. I'm happy to come drive you." And he was just chatting me up. And he was like, "What were you drinking?" Blah, blah, blah. I was like, "I was drinking a bunch of Jaeger." He was like, "Oh."
His favorite. Yeah.
Because if I remember Morgan's dad really, Jaeger was his drink. So then he was like, "Oh, yeah, I know that one." He was just really nice. But yeah, I every time I drink, every time I decide to drink, it's like all or nothing. I have to get 100% obliterated or nothing at all. There's no in between.
Well, yeah,
so that's why
it's not fun to drink if you don't get fucked up. There's what's the point? What's the point in that?
Yeah, I don't like alcohol. I don't like to drink it for fun.
I thought you were going to talk about when your friends invited us over to the Conor McGregor fight and I fucking was blackout drunk at their house.
That's your drunk story, not mine.
That's true.
So I could add to that. That's the drunkest you've ever been. That is the drunkest I've ever seen you in my life.
Okay, so basically, I kind of told the story the last time we did drinking stories, but that was so long ago. It's fair game right now. My lawyer Mike said, "Damn, Tasha, the way you describe drinking is exactly how I drink," and he quit drinking. So if that should tell you anything, that's why you don't drink.
I cannot drink.
Yeah, you guys are just two peas in a pod. So Tasha's friends from high school invited us over. We brought this. She just had a baby.
Let me digress.
We have like
a friend from like middle school. I had not seen this fool in years. Well, I'd been hanging out with him and his wife a few times. I didn't know his wife really. He had met her after he had left the school that I went to. So he met her after he had already left. So I was hanging out with his wife and chatting with her quite a bit. And they invited us over for the fight. Continue, please. I'm sorry.
Okay, so they invited like a lot of people over for these fights. This is a sidebar. It's not really relevant to the story. They invited like 40 people over for the fights. They did not buy the fights. They're streaming the fights with that many people over, which is fine. I stream the fights all the time, but it's just us. It just seemed weird. If you're going to invite people over, just buy it, right? Right. It's not a big deal except for they were jerks about the rest of the story. So it's the Conor McGregor versus Donald Cerrone fight.
Also, side note, if we're doing side notes, it was basically like a potluck. They were having a bunch of people over. We're like, "Hey, what do you want us to bring? I was like, I could bring wings. Like, I can go to Wingstop, get like a tray of wings, and we could bring that over. She's like, no, someone's already bringing wings. Just bring yourself. It's fine. And the person that brought wings brought like these shitty homemade wings. They were awful.
We offered to bring Wingstop for a whole party. We were ready to bring hundreds of dollars of Wingstop, and they were like, no, we have wings. These were like microwave frozen wings. Like, they were the worst wings you could get. I was so sad when I got there. Okay, so we get there, and it's Conor McGregor's comeback fight. He's fighting Donald Cerrone. Like, they give him a favorable matchup. Everybody's excited. Proper 12 just came out. I've never had it. Everybody's drinking Proper 12. Every time, these guys are like, drinking with these guys was like in a time machine. They would pour shots and then be like, wait, don't drink it. Don't drink it. Let's get everyone together and do a shot at the same time. And I was like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? So I would pour a shot and then they'd be like, wait, I'd drink that. Then they'd get some people over and they'd be like, okay, get them a shot. We'd pour shots. And then they'd say, oh, someone else is coming. And I'd drink that shot. And then we'd pour shots for everyone. Finally, they'd all do the shot. I'm fucking wasted. Like, everybody else had like a few shots as a group. And I've done like 10 or 11 shots. Like, I'm way drunk. Like, and I'm like going outside. I'm getting high. Like, I'm doing all kinds of shit. Also, we are there with the kids. My 2 kids are there, plus the baby. So like, we are both there with the kids. And I am as drunk as you have ever seen somebody that's gone to jail for being drunk. Like, I am so drunk. And I honestly don't even remember how anything else happened. Like, I remember leaving and throwing up as we were leaving, but I don't remember anything else. I fell through a chair in this bitch's house. I broke a chair and she asked us to pay for it the next day. It was like a whole thing.
Yeah, Morgan was hella drunk, and Morgan's a big guy. So basically, I told him too it's funny because I said something before he sat down. I said, hey, I know you're getting really drunk. These chairs are really tiny. Do not sit in these chairs. You will break them. And he just got too fucked up. He forgot.
True. And so then we even Venmo'd her for this shit. We paid this bitch the chair money. You're
downplaying this a lot. This bitch was so pissed off about this chair. She was fucking furious. And I was like, hey, I'm really sorry. He's really drunk. I told him not to sit in the chair, and he's just too fucked up. I said, I will pay for this chair right now. I will send you the money right now for this chair. If someone offers to pay for something, I'm not mad anymore. Guess what? It's getting replaced. It is a material object. No one's hurt. It's fine. It's not a big deal. And she was pissed. So she was like, well, these chairs come in a set only. So it's, in order to replace it, you have to replace it with 2.
So we bought this bitch 2 chairs. That's what I'm hearing. We bought this bitch 2 chairs, and she was still not satisfied.
She was, you know what? I will give her this, is that she was kind of upset because these were brand new. So they were brand new chairs, and she was upset because they were very expensive. They were like $400 for these 2 chairs. So these are like regular dining room chairs. They were not that nice. So I was like, sure, whatever. She ordered it from this website, and she was like, you know what? I might be able to get my money back for these because I think they might be still warranted. And I'm like, cool. So what the fuck are we talking about here? So I sent her the money anyway. I sent her the money even though she might get her money back. I was like, here, just for you to not be pissed off anymore, I'm sorry. I apologized several times, and she still wasn't having it. So I'm like, here's the money. And also, I don't have a lot of money to begin with, and her man are well off. So I was already pissed off about that. So we pay the money, and then Morgan continues to drink throughout the night. He's getting hella fucked up, and then he's like, I need to go throw up. He's like stumbling, and he goes to the bathroom, and he's in there for a long time. And mind you, Pam is little. Like, she's like a little baby.
Like a newborn. She's not even a toddler, for sure.
She's not a newborn. She's like a few months old. She's like 5, 6 months old. So then he's in there for a long time, and I start to get worried. I'm like, oh shit!
I am throwing up all over their front bathroom. Like, this is the only other part of the night I remember.
Me and Morgan have been together for years, and he has never ever thrown up all over the place like that. I've never seen that happen.
I just throw up in the toilet.
Not only all over the bathroom, but he threw up all over himself. Like, there was vomit all on the front of his shirt. And I was like, oh shit. He was like, he was so sweet too. He's like, I'm so sorry, babe. I don't know what happened. I just got so sick and I didn't make it. And he was very apologetic. I'm like, it's okay. Don't worry about it. I'll clean it up.
Bro. I was so ashamed. Because like no matter how drunk I am, I try not to be like a nuisance. Like I like to have fun and be rowdy, but I try not to make it where people are like, don't fucking invite that guy. He's an idiot. You know what I mean? Like I try to take it to the limit. Yeah. But I try not to let it actually get out of hand. Like I try to still let it get crazy within my control. That's like one of the only times I've ever like full on lost it. Like I full on lost it that night.
He blacked out beyond saving at that point. So then I was like, clean yourself up. So I helped him get cleaned up the best I could. And then I got paper towels and I cleaned up the vomit. And then not only did I clean up the vomit with paper towels, I went in with like Lysol spray afterwards and like sanitized everything. I cleaned that bitch's toilet, the floors. I cleaned all of it up spotless. Not a drop of vomit left. 100% cleaned it up. And she was still hella mad. She was hella mad that he threw up all over the bathroom. She was pissed. And I was like, sorry, we're going to leave right now. He's really fucked up. We need to leave. I cleaned all of it up. I'm so sorry. So then my cousin's actually there and he helps me take Morgan and the kids to the car and load up. And I'm driving off and I'm not even mad at Morgan, honestly. I was just like stressed out because I had all the kids with me. If the kids weren't there, it would not have been a big deal. But my kids were like worried about him. He was throwing up everywhere. They're like, is dad okay? And all this shit. And I was like, he's fine. Everything's fine. And I'm literally pulling off from the cul-de-sac that they live in. I've been driving for 30 seconds and Morgan starts gagging. I'm like, do you need to throw up? Because just tell me you need to throw up and I'll pull over right now. It's no problem. He's like, no, I'm fine. It's fine. I'm fine. And then he starts gagging again. I pull the shit over and I fucking throw open the door. I get out and I throw open the door and he just fucking pukes all over the street. I'm like,
I was so convinced I wasn't gonna throw up. Like I really meant it when I said that. Like I wasn't bullshitting you. I was just like, no, I'm good. That was it. Like I would love to get that drunk again. Like I don't want to do that much crazy shit, but I want to be that drunk. Like I want to be that drunk and less crazy. I want to be that drunk on our couch.
Crazy. Yeah, it was just a big deal because this is their new house, their new stuff, and I get that. I'm understanding, but also if you have a bunch of people drinking at your house, you should anticipate that someone getting fucked up might happen. No, honestly.
if you're having a party, you better expect at least several drunk people are going to be there. Here's what I would like to do. We've never talked to them again. Oh no, let me put a pin in this. The worst part of all this is we made good. Tasha cleaned this bitch's house. Tasha paid this bitch for this chair, and then she acted like it was all good. Like she was kind of acting a little mad, but she mostly acted like we made it right. And then the next day, she tweeted some shit like, don't think I'm having anybody over to the house for a while. People don't know how to act. Like some bullshit subtweet.
Yeah, she starts subtweeting me. And I follow her. I'm like, I know this bitch. I'm like, first of all, this is some pussy ass shit. If you're going to talk about me and you know I'm going to see it, fucking at me or talk to me yourself. Why are you fucking doing this high school shit? Like for real, why are you acting this way? I was pissed. And I was like, fine, fuck this bitch for real. I was already off of her. And then she literally posted a get together basically with all of our mutual friends like within the next couple weeks and did not invite me at all. I was like, cool, real nice.
We've never talked to them again after that. I would love to make up with them after the fact and try to go over there, and I would love to show up that drunk and like just do it all over again. Like I would love to do that.
I'm good. This is why, like, I honestly, I do not have any friends. I don't. I have Morgan, and that's pretty much it. I have some people that I know and some people that I'm cool with, but I don't really have close friends because of shit like this. Like, when people get petty and say stupid shit, I've never met anyone that acts right.
Yeah.
Like, someone's always doing some stupid shit.
That's true.
I just can't stand it. That's why I don't have like even I try. I would like go out of my way to fucking talk to this bitch and hang out with her and all that shit. And then all this shit happens with Morgan. And basically, if you're not being cool with Morgan, you're not cool with me. It's all or nothing. Even if you want to act hella nice to me or and pretend like we're
First
cool.
of all, I'm a delight to be around.
Shit about Morgan, you're not cool.
I'm a sweet
with
treat.
him. Like I'm good.
If you don't like me, something's wrong with you. Like I'm not perfect, but if you don't think I'm fun, there's something wrong with you. Like I don't know. I don't know. All right,
yeah,
thank you so much for calling, Tashi. You really did it.
Anytime. Anytime. Bye.
Okay, bye.
No,
Shout out to Great Auntie Meatball. Was that right? It said that she was just on the phone for 30 minutes. Did I just call my wife and tell stories for 30 minutes on this show? Oh my. You know what? I felt like it was still good. It didn't feel any worse than the regular show, I gotta tell you. Anybody, please call 540-583-4464. That's 540 judging. I'm drunk and we're telling drunk stories. Yo, so when I started doing stand-up, I always knew I wanted to do stand-up since before I was in high school even. And then when I got out of high school, I was like, all right, I'm going to start doing stand-up. Like I thought about it all the time. I'm writing jokes on my phone all the time. I never even went at all. Like I never even thought to go until I was like fucking 27. Like literally, I did not go to an open mic till I was 27 after writing jokes for like 8-9 years still. Like ridiculous. But also I was still obviously very, very nervous to do stand-up. Like I would get so nervous. So I don't know if like at stand-up place, anywhere they do stand-up, like they mostly sell booze. Like mostly they're like, hey, we need to get money out of these people and they need to be kind of drunk to laugh at this bullshit. So let's kill two birds with $1 right here and sell them a $7 to $8 beer, right? And then if there's a drink minimum, then even a soda is the same price as a beer, because then people try to be like, I'll just take 2 sodas. You're going to pay beer price, buddy. I digress. When I started doing stand-up, I would get pretty fucking tipsy here and there. And it went good. It was fine. And a bunch of times it went great. Like, first of all, for somebody starting stand-up, I was bombing barely at all. And that was great. Like, I wasn't saying I was great at stand-up, but I wasn't like straight up eating dicks. Like, I would get several laughs, even if it wasn't a great overall set. Like, I would still get lots of laughs. Like, I would see people bomb a full set and not get a single laugh every night. That wasn't happening to me, even though I wasn't good. So I wasn't good, but I wasn't awful. And that was good enough for me. But I would still get so scared that sometimes I would get, like, I would go into the comedy club and they give you a drink if you're on the show or whatever. They're like, yeah, the bartender would be like, are you on the show? And you're like, yeah. And they give you a drink. They comp you a drink. And you're like, oh, tight. And you give them a tip. And then sometimes they don't even take it. They're like, no, I'm giving you a free drink. Please don't give me money. Like, it's nice. Either way, it's nice. But I would start going into these comedy clubs and ordering drinks like I'm a hardened detective. Like, I would be like, shot in a beer? Yeah. Shot in a beer? Can I get a shot in a beer? Like, I would be ordering a shot in a beer. When you drink shot and a beer, you're fucking drunk quick. 3 shots and 3 beers will have you thinking about your choices in life. You show up and you're already got the butterflies in your tummy and you drink 3 shots and 3 beers, you're going to be scared, bro. Like, so sometimes I would get really, really drunk and fuck up my set, or I would, and this is almost more regrettable. Like I talk any kind of ways that I like to talk. But sometimes when I get really nervous doing stand up, I'll also talk like a little bit. I don't know the right way to say it, but I talk a little ghettoer than I am. Like I don't talk all the way right all the time, but also sometimes when I get really nervous doing stand up, a voice comes out of me it's It's regrettable and nobody's got it on film, so it's only happening. You only know because I'm telling you, but like, it's not been great a bunch of times. I've been too drunk to do stand-up. That's what I'm saying. I get too drunk sometimes when I do stand-up. So one time it did go good. I'm hosting for my friend. My friend comes through to this local comedy club. I'm hosting for him. I do a great set. And he's like, hey, you want to host for me all weekend? And I'm like, yes. This is my dream. I always wanted to host all weekend. Yes. So as he's out there doing his headlining set, me and the dude who middled get hammered drunk in the green room. We drink so much. And then we hang out with the headliner after the show. We're there for like 5 hours and I already stopped drinking. I stopped drinking during the show because I was so drunk. And we're there for like 4 hours after that. And it's all good. Like I haven't drank, so I think I'm fine. And I'm like, hey, I'm going to go home, you guys. Let me say you should not do that. Guilty. I was already said I was very drunk. Should not have drank. So I think I will end the show after this story, but so I started to drive home. I get in my car. I immediately pulled over. I was like, I can't drive. I pull over at a Wingstop. I order Wingstop and I call my friend to pick me up. He comes to get me. I am almost passed out eating wings on the front porch of this Wingstop. And I was like, thank you for coming to get me. I shouldn't be driving. And he was like, let's go. We're going home. And we just went home and I got my car in the morning. Always call your buddy. This wasn't pre-Uber. Call an Uber. There's no excuse to drive drunk anymore. So that's what I would say. I was wrong and don't be wrong. Ending this fucking show. We had a lot of great calls and I'm telling a bunch of drunk stories. I got too drunk to do the show tonight. I'm willing to say it. I got too drunk on this show, God damn it. But we had so much fun. I never do the show drunk except for the other time. But it was great. I wish more people would have called with their drunk stories too. But I mean, you guys got a lot of them out of me. So I guess that's good. Monday. We're going to be back Monday. We were going to do that weird thing you do. So how about like a weird little habit, a weird little ritual, something weird that you do? The last, I got to find a fucking better way to phrase it. But the last time we did that episode, it was really good. So some weird little shit about you. I want to hear it. Monday. Weird rituals, superstitions, like weird. We had somebody that was like diagnosed with OCD tell me all their shit last time. And that was fun too. So I'm here for all of it. So Monday, we're going to do weird stuff, that weird shit that you do. I won't be drunk and we'll have an even better time. Like, can you imagine? So I'll see you guys Monday. Court is adjourned and